Hello and welcome to Between the Ropes TV. And today, me and Josh, we're going to talk about knockouts of the year. There was a lot to go through. Some disagreements, I'm sure, is going to come ahead, but I can't see us having the same one. So I'm happy to jump straight in and find out what you think, Josh, because I'm sure I disagree.
See, now you're not going to disagree, I don't think, because I know you're a big Callum Smith fan. And I'd say best knockout of the year / scariest knockout of the year has to be Callum Smith on Castillo at Tottenham on September the 29th, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Because the way he landed that, I mean, Smith was winning the fight. I think that's the key bit to say. He was, it was early doors, but he was winning the fight, establishing his range. He'd had 9 months out the ring from his loss to Canelo previously. But when he landed that shot and you saw Castillo go down with the leg spasms, and then obviously it was 10 or 15 minutes, wasn't it? In fairness, medical attention on Castillo.
Yeah.
It was absolutely sensational from Callum Smith. And I think me and you've been talking about it long before we started this channel. Callum Smith needs to move to 175. It was a nice change. We got to be proven right, because it's also the scariest knockout of the year. If you disagree with me, tell me, but I think that is the one.
Do you know what? We've left it till the end of the year I'm surprised it's the same one. I think Callum Smith, it was how clean his right hand was. Second round, I think knockout of the year, it is obvious about how they knocked their opponent out, but I think it's what's into it. It was a statement. We also made a statement with that shot. It wasn't against a nobody. Castillo's had a shot at a world title against Bivol, where Bivol couldn't stop him. Yet Callum Smith comes in and just second round, lovely shot. And like you said, it was scary because you couldn't believe the shot. You was happy for Smith, but then went straight to a bit of like, well, I hope he's all right. And like we say, Callum Smith, again, hardly celebrated because it was quite scary with the leg spasms. But no, I think I have to agree with you. I'm surprised you went that way. I thought you'd be going for Kiko Martinez, if I'm honest.
Well, I thought, let's chuck a Christmas miracle in. Let's give the people what they really want at this time of year. But no, I think, just the fact that we're Callum Smith fans, we have not a few years, haven't we, in fairness, both of us?
We have, yeah.
So it was just great to see him. He was slagged off after the Canelo loss. And in fairness, I think he was, what for me confirmed how weight drained he actually was for Canelo was how good he looked against Castillo. That was a tough fight, as you so rightly pointed out, just to make your 175 debut. But his face looked better. You could see he hadn't killed himself to get to the weight. So I'm massively excited for Callum Smith in 2022. As for Kiko Martinez on Kid Galahad, not going to lie, that and it was Baumgartner's, wasn't it, on Terry Harper. Those two, well, to be fair, in fairness, all three of those, you could make a case for all three, I think, couldn't you? But we'll start with Kiko. Kiko, that was sensational, wasn't it? He was losing the fight. Galahad was well on top. And he just pulled one out from the gods.
Yeah, it was the way that he put Galahad down just before the end of the round. And you thought, right, Galahad's going to regroup. He's going to go out there and he's going to establish domination again. And then just his overhand right. Was it 6 seconds into the round, something like that? And as soon as he hit him, he wasn't getting up. I just think it was a lovely shot. And a lot of people, including us, did write Martinez off in that fight. But it's the fact that him and Baumgartner, same card, 2 shocks. And it was, for me, the Baumgartner with Harper, it was the fact she stunned her. She never put Harper down. She just stunned her on her feet. And first time in the UK against a champion with 2 belts. And she came over here and it was just a dominating fight. And then that shot at the end, it was just lovely. And the ref, again, you can't help but say the ref did a great job in jumping in. But I'm going to upset you now. I have one more honourable mention and I can't believe I'm saying it.
I think I know what you're going to say and I was just about to say it. Go on.
Do you know what? You've got to say Jake Paul versus Tyrone Woodley too. So you've got these people like, oh, it's rigged. Right. If it was fixed for Tyrone Woodley to drop his guard. That was the fix. Drop your guard, take the shot, take the fall, take the loss. That shot knocked him out. The normal reaction to a human, you stop yourself falling. His hands were by his side. It was like a character in Toy Story when Andy walked in. It was a good shot. Whether he dropped the guard on purpose, that KO was real. and it was a good shot. And I think it was still a fight. It's still boxing. Yeah, we're waiting for him to have a real fight, but you've got to mention it if that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, I can't believe we're saying this, especially after their first fight when in the summer when we'd not long started the channel. I, in particular, went in on that fight, and I stand by everything I said. I genuinely do. But one thing I will say, in fairness to Jake Paul, whether it was rigged or not, as you again bang on, Ben, the knockout was genuine. And he came in shape, didn't he, in fairness? So regardless of what, if a man's going to come in, use his platform to elevate a payday, I'm not going to knock him for that at all. Let's be honest. We'd all do the same. I think most people would. If you're going to be offered a few million quid for it, you're going to. But the shape he went into the fight in, he clearly he's taking the sport seriously. So, yeah, sadly, you just have to sort of say hats off to him. Yeah, it was a good knockout. The last one I would like to just mention, it was a bit, in terms of the knockout, it was a bit strange. But in terms of the quality of a punch, Canelo and Billy Joe Saunders.
Yes.
To do someone's eye socket like that. And when you saw, you didn't quite catch it, did you, live in the fight? But when they showed the replays, that was a brilliant shot of Canelo. As we're in fairness, we're all probably in the wrong because we're just accustomed to seeing that now, aren't we, off Canelo?
Well, yeah, I think it's kind of like, probably wasn't knockout of the year because he didn't knock him out because he retired in the corner, but it could be shot of the year. And to do that damage, it's the power Canelo's got and the way he can go about his business, and he can just one shot and he ends it. I think you're right to bring that up, and we could be here for hours, couldn't we? Because again, Conor Ben Algieri, that impressed me.
Right, knockout.
And yeah, but it didn't make the top list for me, unfortunately. And there's a few like it, like a few people will be saying Fury against Wilder, but I just like the clean knockouts for me. I think when they're just clean shots, no hugging, no scrappiness, that's it for me. Unless you have anything to add, I think it's a good place to wrap it up.
No, I mean, to be honest, I'm actually in shock, and I've been for the last 7 minutes odd because we're agreeing on things. Scott won't believe us.
Scott's not coming back. Let's knock out of the year next year. Who's going to get it?
Anthony Joshua on Usyk.
Oh, I love ambition. He's either going to be at the top or at the bottom, isn't he?
Go big or go home.
Right, thanks all for watching, and we'll bring you as many videos as we can in the new year and for the rest of this year while we can. Cheers.